Hello and welcome to your video. Today we're going to take a look at the top teams for the upcoming Psychic Cup. We're also going to take a look a little bit at the meta. It's going to be a very narrow meta as we also only have one type available, which is going to be the Psychic type, of course, and one Pokemon banned, which is going to be the Mew. So it's not really that complicated. Let's take a look at the meta first. Taking a look at the meta, you're going to see now that Victini is going to be the most valuable Pokemon here that you really want to use if you have it, as this thing now learns Quick Attack, which is going to generate way more energy than what you had before with the Confusion. Also, it is not a Psychic type move, so it's going to be neutral against nearly everything in this meta. Then you have Recreate, which is one of the best charge moves in the game, going to debuff yourself, but it's going to be fine as you also have the Overheat that can also debuff yourself. Otherwise, you're going to have something like the Bronzong. Bronzong learns Feint Attack, which is going to be a Dark type move, which will do super effective damage against most of the Pokemon and gives it a very good matchup in general in like 2-shield scenarios, because you can just farm down most of the Pokemon. Otherwise, you have, of course, the Malamar, which was just recently in the Quest Day, which is going to be very nice as well, running here Hyper Beam instead of the usual Superpower, because where do you need Superpower against those Psychic types when you have Foul Play? So Hyper Beam will give you the potential nuke option at the end, so I think it's definitely a cool Pokemon. Then you have Gardevoir, which would be the hardest answer, of course, for the Malamar, but also wins a lot of things in the 2 shields when they don't resist it. But you, of course, have the Bronzong and the Victini, which both resist Charm. And then you have some sleeper picks. Claydol would be able to destroy the Victini and also the Bronzong above. You have some other Pokemon that are a little bit less good. Rapidash is actually really good as well, still having access to Mega Horn, super effective against the Psychic typing. Body Slam for the bait and spam, and Fairy Wind is a fast move. You have some sleeper picks here, like the Alolan Raichu, which is cool. The Larian Slowking is cool. Also, the Latias and Latios going to be amazing in the 2-shield scenario. And otherwise, there is not a lot other than some funny picks like the Slowbro here, which is going to be able to hard or the Victini. The first team here going to be the Gardevoir, especially if you have the Shadow Gardevoir. This is one of the coolest leads that you can have, especially against all the potential Malamar that you can face. Then you have as a safe swap Victini. Victini gonna be in a lot of teams because Victini is just so safe in this meta. Like, Victini going to be dominating this meta. You're going to face it nearly in every team. And just because you face it in nearly every team, we're going to have the Claydol in the back there. Also, what I'm going to try to do for the upcoming, in general, for videos that are team building videos, I'm going to try to put also now the moveset on the screen as well, which I didn't do prior, so you know which moves to run. For example, Overheat on Victini is now new. You have also kind of different movesets on Claydol and also the Gardevoir than what you usually would do, just because you know that you are facing Psychic types. So basically, therefore, the movesets all gonna look a little bit different from what you usually would know. But yeah, this team going to be pretty nice. You're going to be able to bait out the Malamar with the Victini safe swap here if they have one, and you're going to be able to punish this thing as well with the Recreate. You're going to most likely, I think you even win every shield scenario against Malamar with Victini, which is insane. Victini going to be very strong in this meta. You definitely have to look out for it, and having that Pokemon in the back there, which is going to be the Claydol, will be very good for you. The next team here going to have the Malamar in the lead. This is, of course, obviously one of the best Pokemon that you can have in a cup where only Psychic types are allowed, because you have the Dark typing on your side. You have the Victini as a safe swap, and you have the Bronzong in the back. Main reason for Victini as a safe swap are 2 things. If you face a Victini with this Pokemon, or like with this team in the lead, you should try to swap out for the Recreate, which is 5 quick attacks. After 5 quick attacks from the opponent, you should swap out into your own Victini, trying to catch the opposing move. If you catch it, very nice, you can no-shield it, and you're going to be able to get a nice advantage with your own Victini. If they are not throwing and they are swapping out, it's also fine, because basically nothing can swap into a Recreate in this meta. And also, you're going to be able to have then a move start on your Malamar, and having energy on your Malamar going to be your main win con. Why do you have the Bronzong then in the back and the Victini as a safe swap? Victini as a safe swap also going to lure out the potential Claydol, which is going to also be very good for you, because then you can still punish this thing with your lead, and you can avoid it with your Pokemon in the back. You should maybe try to save some shields for the Bronzong with this team, because Bronzong has access to Feint Attack, which is super effective against Psychic types. So this could be a strategy that you can use to win some games, but yeah, this is also like one of those main meta teams that are a little bit lame. Let's take a look at some more interesting versions that are not just top 3 Pokemon mixed together. The next team going to be a little bit more creative, as we have here the Latias or the Latios, especially the Shadow variant. In the lead, Latios is the preferred version here, by the way, because of the access to Dragon Claw. If you did like Giovanni in the recent events, you would have either one of them, and also I think Latios is still actually available, and you would be able to just deal with everything if you just would get the Dragon Claw, and you don't need really a secondary move on either of them actually. And then you have the Galarian version of the Slow King as a safe swap. This Pokemon has access to Hex and also Shadow Ball, which might be very cool in a Psychic type meta. But then we have also in the back here the Bronzong again, going to be able to beat most of the Psychic types just by the pure damage of Feint Attack. Very interesting team, especially the lead going to give you a lot of options. The main reason for the backline here, by the way, is you have a lead that's very weak to Charm, and you have a backline that's very good against Charm. This is basically it for this one, because yeah, this is basically the idea behind it. You have a Poison type and you have a Steel type in the back. Both of them will be able to destroy those Gardevoirs if you face them, so pretty simple line. Also, the cool thing about the lead is you're going to be able to resist fire type moves from Victini, but it's actually still kind of iffy because it just does so much damage and you're very squishy in the lead that you still kind of want to shield them up, but you will be able to beat nearly everything out of the top meta with just 2 shields farming it down. Next up, we're going to see here a team with Alolan Raichu. This Pokemon will be also very interesting, having the Psychic typing, but having Volt Switch, which only really gets resisted by the Claydol and also the Thunder Punch, where you get very fast towards it. Also then the Wild Charge to sweep things in the back. Very cool moveset in general, very good typing, very good fast move especially. And this thing going to be very cool as well, because yeah, it's just like a Psychic type that has a very fast charge moves, does a lot of damage, and you can farm down a lot of Pokemon just by the Volt Switch itself. Then you have as a safe swap again the Victini and then the Malamar on the back. I think you could also just flip it around a little bit and use the Malamar in the lead again and the Victini as a safe swap. This would be a little bit similar to the Team 2 already. But I think in general that the Alolan Raichu has a lot of potential just as a generalist, and also just in general to try to avoid the Claydol with this Pokemon. And last but not least, we have the final team here, which is going to be very cool. We have our My Little Pony in the lead there with the Galarian Rapidash here, having access to Fairy Wind now, which will be very better, because they also do super effective damage now to the Malamar. You have Body Slam. Just for the Body Slam spam, you need 8 turns to get to a Body Slam, which is insane. And then you also have access to Mega Horn, which will be able to do a lot of damage against most of the Psychic types. Then we have also the Slowbro here, which you might want to use as a safe swap. I think the what's called the Claydol might be a little bit better as a safe swap here, but the Slowbro has access to the Water Gun, and Water Gun is all that really needs, and the type is all that really needs. If you take a look at the meta, you have Claydol, which definitely doesn't want to get Water Gun down. You have a Victini, which doesn't really appreciate this move either. So you have some options there which all really kind of don't want to face against this Slowbro. Other than this should be a pretty solid team, and I want to know from you, what are you running? Are you even playing this cup? Are you sticking to a Great League? Are you interested in this cup? I think this cup is pretty cool. Sadly, I'm not going to be able really to play it. I'm still going to try to make a video or 2 about it, but I'm on vacation right now while you're listening to this video. So I will not be able to make direct videos towards it, so that's kind of sad, but still, I think this cup looks kind of fun, but it's good that it's only a week. I think more than 1 week would be a little bit too much for this kind of meme stuff. So that's going to be it for the video. Thanks for watching. See you next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.